In 1705, Edmund Halley predicted that a comet would orbit back to Earth in 1756. We now know this comet as Halley's Comet. It comes about every 76 years and is one of the brightest short-period comets in our sky. After the discovery of Halley's Comet, astronomers explored other comets wanting to know more about their orbits. In 1985, Ian Ridpath, an amateur astronomer, telephoned 36 Halley families and asked them how they pronounced their name. 2 said Halley and 2 others said Hawley. The rest, 89% of his sample, used the traditional pronunciation that is also used by all astronomers engaged in comet study, which is Halley's Comet. Before Edmund Halley's discovery, people thought much different things about comets than they do now. They inspired a great variety of feelings in different cultures, such as fear, dread, and awe. They have been regarded as omens of disaster and messengers from the gods. Very little was known about comets until Edmund Halley started researching several comet sightings spread out over periods of time. Strangely enough, their time span was 75 to 76 years. This led him to discover Halley's Comet. In 240 BC, Chinese astronomers spotted a room-shaped star in the sky. This is the first confirmed sighting of Halley's Comet. Since then, people have been striving to find out more about this mysterious comet. In 1070, the Bayeux Tapestry was made in England. The Bayeux Tapestry is more than 900 years old and 70 meters long. A certain part of it depicts that in February 1066 a comet appeared in the sky. Historians and astronomers have confirmed that that comet is Halley's Comet. In that day and age, people saw comets as a symbol of fear and cowered under its presence. Edmund Halley is an English astronomer best known for computing the orbit of Halley's Comet. He was born in England, and when he was 17 he entered Oxford University, bringing with him a fine collection of astronomical instruments from his father. In 1676 he gave up his studies and embarked on a journey to St. Helena in the South Atlantic. There he catalogued 341 stars in the southern hemisphere. When Halley published his star catalogue in 1678, it established his reputation as an astronomer. Mark Twain was born in 1835 when Halley's Comet passed by Earth. In 1909, Twain predicted that he would die when Halley's Comet came the next year in 1910. The next year, as Twain had predicted, the day after Halley's Comet reached perihelion, Mark Twain died. I came in with Halley's Comet in 1835. It is coming again next year, and I expect to go out with it. It will be the greatest disappointment of my life if I don't go out with Halley's Comet. The Almighty has said, no doubt. Now here are these 2 unaccountable freaks. They came in together, they must go out together. Mark Twain. There have been several probes sent to Halley's Comet to figure out more about it. One of the most commonly known probes of this kind is Giotto. The probe was named after Giotto di Bondone, a painter who had painted a rendition of the Adoration of the Magi. On July 2, 1985, the European Space Agency launched Giotto. On March 13, 1986, Giotto flew by Halley's Comet and sent back various pictures of its nucleus. When Halley published a synopsis of the astronomy of comets in 1705, he catalogued historical records of 24 comets appearing near Earth between 1337 and 1698. 3 of the observations were very close in orbit and parameter. This led him to think that those 3 comets were the same comet appearing again and again. The comet also appeared in 1537, 1607, and 1682. In using Isaac Newton's new theory of gravitation to calculate the orbits of comets from the recorded positions in the sky, Halley concluded that the comet orbited in a retrograde way, meaning that the comet flew in the opposite way of which the planets orbited the sun. He then predicted that in 1758 the comet would appear again. Unfortunately, he did not live long enough to see his prediction come true. His discovery inspired others to name the comet after him, hence Halley's Comet. The public's reaction to Halley's Comet varied in emotions. Many people felt fear because this was one of the first recognized comets to pass by Earth with people paying attention. Other people feared it would wipe out life on the planet completely. Some merchants even went as far to sell anti-comet pills, claiming that when the comet passed by, they would save your life. People are much more comfortable with comets now than they were in Edmund Halley's time. People used to cower under its presence and insisted it was a sign of the devil. In 1980, NASA's Jet Propulsion Lab set up a program called the International Halley Watch. IHW is a large team of intelligent individuals from around the globe who set up studies of Halley's Comet. Their purpose is to stimulate, standardize, collect, and archive observations of the comet. The IHW coordinated with Giotto and Vega, assisting with those missions. When Edmund Halley predicted that the comet would come back again, people scoffed at him and said, "You're wrong, it's a different comet every time." And when the comet did come back, proving him right, people started to wonder if there were other cases like this. They explored his idea deeply and tried it out with other comets. And when they looked back at comet sightings for a specific comet, they found that Edmund Halley's idea was true. As his tail stretched out like a stardust streak to play, fizzled about it every day for a week. Wonder where it's going and where it's been when Halley came to Jackson in 1910.